Can you get a second bite at the cherry? It's time to talk about reincarnation. One of the most common questions I get asked is whether Swedenborg believed in reincarnation. It's a very popular belief that's gained traction in the recent decades, and with good reason. We've seen an increasing influence of Eastern religion in the Western world, and a growing number of accounts not only of near-death experience, but of the memory of past lives. And reincarnation's a very appealing idea, the thought that if you make a mess of this life, you get a second chance, a fresh start. And at the end of this chapter, Swedenborg addresses this idea. He writes, "An angel or spirit is not permitted to speak with a man from his own memory, but only from the man's memory. If a spirit were to speak from his own memory with a man, the man would not know otherwise than that the thoughts then in his mind were his own, although they were the spirit's thoughts. This would be like the recollection of something which the man had never heard or seen. This is the source of the belief held by some of the ancients that after some thousands of years they were to return to their former life and into all its activities, and in fact had returned. This they concluded because at times there came to them a sort of recollection of things that they had never seen or heard. This came from an influx from the memory of spirits into their ideas of thought." So when a spirit shares a memory with you, they're not telling you about it, you're experiencing it firsthand, as though it is your memory. And if you didn't know any different, you'd assume it actually was your memory. And that is the source of the memory of past lives. But if we only get one go around, what happens if I mess it all up? Am I done for? Well, no. You see, we misunderstand the purpose of life in the same way that we misunderstand success. Most people's experience of success is as a spectator. We see successful people and tend to assume that they've had it handed to them on a plate. Talent, money, they were in the right place at the right time, they have the looks or whatever. And we forget that what made them successful is actually a lot of hidden failure and the determination to get back up again and have another go. You see, I remember every single one of my own failures, but none of yours. I'm 100% aware of my own negative self-talk, and none of yours. I know exactly how I got to where I am today, with all its up and downs, but not the slightest clue about your journey, except what you choose to share with me. And if we're talking about winning the game of life, it's actually got nothing to do with the kind of measures we frequently associate with winning. In fact, part of the journey will be about understanding just how bad we are at it, how often we make a mess of things, how often we fail to act in ways that we should, and all the times that we got angry or frustrated with someone. And it's realizing that I'm not just some helpless victim in all this, that I'm not just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, but that I am actually responsible for the mess that I'm in. So can you mess it up? Well, for sure you can, but not for the reasons that you'd think. You'd mess it up if you'd never realized just how much you'd messed up. You'd mess it up if the misery and the anger and the hatred was the way you actually wanted to spend your life. But then once you'd reached that place, you'd think it was the greatest thing ever, wouldn't you? Now here's the thing I really want you to remember. You don't need to believe the right thing to get into heaven. If you believe in reincarnation, go for your life. It doesn't matter in the slightest. You already have everything you need. What matters is that you take what you believe and you live your best life according to that. Now, if that best life challenges the way that you think and makes you reevaluate things, then move on and live your best life again. So what do you think? Do you believe in reincarnation? I wonder if you have ever experienced the memory of past lives. We'd love to hear from you. As always, you're welcome to read along or read ahead if you prefer. You may have questions you'd like to ask, and I invite you to put them in the comments below. Enjoy the journey.